talk about the differences between the genders in 3 minutes or less. My name is Joshua.
I am Lucas.
I'm Eric.
Eric and Lucas are licensed professional counselors, and this comes from a course on our website at empoweringchoices.community or in our app by searching Empowering Choices Parenting in the App Store. So 3 minutes is probably not a lot of time to talk about the difference between the genders.
No, as with all of our courses, we would not have enough time to talk about all of them, but this one even more so
Yes.
than lots. And even the course itself doesn't exhaustively describe the differences between the genders. There's some things that we highlight, some things that, came up. I mean, I think a lot of what comes up in the course is some of the personal experiences you had, Eric, of like, hey, check this out. You need to pay attention to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some definite differences that are there that, Johns Hopkins University came out several years ago and said, hey, there's 6,600 plus differences between a man and a woman's body.
Wow.
And that comes down to how do girls socialize? How do boys socialize? It is completely different from preschool up. Mm-hmm. It's a very different, and it goes all the way through into adulthood. At a clinic I worked at for county mental health, I watched the first day of a woman counselor coming in, and another woman counselor who had been there for a long time came down to her office to meet her, and basically let her know she's not all that anything. She's not that big of a deal. She's, and so the woman coming down is the one who sees herself as the top dog.
Right.
And she was there to put the new woman in her place. I mean, it never changes in that respect for women. And when I talk to women, they're like, yeah, that happens all the time. That doesn't happen with guys. It doesn't happen like that. A guy will go into a new world, and eventually he will either seek out who seems to be, the person who kind of the guy who leads, and, or the guy who leads will seek him out, and they'll size each other up, and the new person will go, well, do I want to be led by this person, or am I just going to do my own thing? It's not it's a choice. It's not a demand here, I'll put you in your place and then you'll be, in rank and file. Right. And so those differences are there. How kids talk, how people talk. Men, boys talk most generally through working with their hands. When they're really having big emotions, when we are working with our hands and working that out, talking flows. Girls, women, last hour of the night before bedtime. And it's remarkable because when I say that, so many adult women go, oh yeah, that makes sense. So many of their husbands or boyfriends go, oh yeah, is that why that happens?
And you're talking about that like if for adult relationships also bears itself out.
Yeah, but with your kids, that last hour for girls can be a very, very tender and intimate time that you could be able to talk with them about their day and how they're doing.
It's going to be a terribly difficult thing for me raising girls because boy, do I like sleep. So
you're going to have to always get them staggered bedtimes or bedtimes at the same time in the same room.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So it all happens at the, and you were talking about, like, I noticed that happens with my wife too, because she'll express, like, she's like, yeah, I get really talkative right before bed. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, I'm half asleep already.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do. Yes. Yeah, that's right. And I get really non-talkative right before bed because when I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed.
Sure. My brain is shutting off.
To go to sleep. And so sometimes, like what I've talked about with couples is you may, guys, want to go to bed a little earlier than when you would go to bed.
Only if you can convince your wife that is also the correct time.
Well, and that's something that you have to work out in that teamwork, in that partnership.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But as we expressed, there are not a million. You said 6,600 differences between men and women.
6,600 plus, meaning they're still discovering them.
So a lot more than
or they just round it off.
Nope. They're still discovering them.
More than we can fit in 3 minutes or less.
Well,
which is why
tragically
we didn't
do
3
it.
minutes or less.
Yeah.
But Definitely check out our course, empoweringchoices.community. That's the website to go to, or download the app, Empowering Choices Parenting, and we will see you on the next one.